Recently, cake pops have become increasingly popular since they're just little bite-sized pieces of cake on a stick. They're great for get-togethers or parties. There's no cutting cake or needing plates or forks, and it's a quick and easy cleanup. I am going to demonstrate today how to make some chocolate cake pops, and I'm going to be making the cake from scratch, and I'm going to include some helpful tips along the way. To start off, I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. I coated this pan in some cooking spray, and I'm just going to take a paper towel and rub it along the sides and just make sure that it's evenly spread. That way the cake doesn't stick when it's baking. I'm going to mix all of the dry ingredients. There's sugar, cocoa powder, flour. Make sure you spoon it and level it to ensure proper measurements. Baking powder, or baking soda, sorry, and salt. Once I mixed all the dry ingredients, I whisked them together and set the bowl off to the side. In a separate bowl, I'm going to mix the oil, vegetable oil, 2 eggs, and vanilla extract. I'm going to whisk them together, and then when I'm done, I'm going to mix them in with the dry ingredients. Once the dry and wet ingredients are mixed together, you add hot water. The hot water helps bring out the flavor of the chocolate in the cake. And then you whisk it all together. Once all the ingredients are mixed together, you're going to pour it into the cake pan. You want to bake the cake at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes or so until it's done. You can stick a toothpick or a knife into the center, and if it comes out clear, you're all good to go. And then once you get the cake done, you can go ahead and let it cool. So once your cake is baked and cooled down, you want to crumble it up into a large bowl so that you can start to mush everything together pretty much. So once your cake is all crumbled up into tiny bits, you want to add a little bit of a frosting. You don't want to add a lot because the cake's already so moist itself that it might like overpower it. And some people like to use their hands, but you can use an electric mixer just to make sure you get everything nice and mixed up and there's no clumps of anything. Once you have your frosting and cake mix all mixed together nice, you can go ahead and take about a tablespoon and just put it in your hand and make a ball. It's a little difficult and it will crumble easily. Try not to roll it too hard, but once you get the ball, you can go ahead and place it on wax paper or parchment paper on a cookie sheet. Once you have all your cake balls rolled, you can go ahead and either put them in the freezer for an hour or the fridge for 2 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the freezer to speed it up a little bit. Cake pops are done cooling. You want to take some chocolate and melt it so it's pretty smooth and runny. That way you can dip your cake pops in it. But you want to take the cake pop stick and just dip a little bit in to help the cake stick. Then you'll just kind of, I like to twist so you're not breaking the ball apart. And then you dip the cake ball, submerge it all the way into the chocolate, and then you can just tap on the edges to get the extra chocolate off. And then once you are done, you can go ahead and decorate it. I have some sprinkles and some coconut flakes. You can choose like crushed up M&Ms or Reese's Pieces, peanut butter, pretty much everything. So just pretty much decorate it and then you have your cake pop. When you're done constructing your cake pops, you can go ahead and store them in the fridge or the freezer to let the frosting set. Just a tip for storing the cake pops, I would recommend getting a thicker styrofoam block so that you can put these sticks into the block and it will hold the cake pops up. I typically use a box because I don't have the styrofoam and I just poke holes in it, but a lot of the times the sticks shift and then the cake pops fall into each other and then you have a mess and then they don't solidify as nicely.